It is Stephanie Lueras from Heart and Soul Fitness and Wellness. And random time for coffee and connect, but I've got my coffee, got my funny flyaway hair this morning. But first of all, happy election day. Go vote. It's important. But the thing that's really on my mind this morning is results. And I wanted to talk about the results of our health and wellness goals and how to look at them maybe in a different light. And I want to share an experience that I've had recently with someone that I work with, because it's not unique to that person. It's something that I see across the board with so many people. And we get so caught up in the tangible results, the visible results, the aesthetic results. A lot of this mindset comes from the $72 billion a year diet industry. And there's so much focus on the scale, on body transformation, on all of these things that don't change overnight. But we've been conditioned over time with the latest, the greatest, the 7-day, the 14-day, the 21-day, the 60-day, these short-term solutions that promise us big results. And it's not realistic. First of all, if you're depending solely on the scale, that's a problem, because the scale is not a measure of health. Your weight, your measure of gravitational pull on this earth, does not determine your health outcomes, or if you are quote unquote healthy or unhealthy. It's one number, and it can fluctuate dramatically day to day. That's why when we set our health and wellness goals, we really need to look at multiple benchmarks. And if you're using the scale, okay, fine. Please do not use it every day. Ideally, if you have that need to weigh once a month, I know that makes people shudder at that sound. Once a month. If you can't handle once a month, no more than once a week, because that fixation on one number doesn't do you any good in moving forward. So when we look at what are the multiple benchmarks of success, there's a lot of things. Yeah, some people use the scale. Others use body composition, measurements, how their clothes feel. Are they sleeping good? How do they physically feel? There's a lot of different maybe athletic benchmarks depending on what type of practice you're doing. Where can I go further? Can I do longer? Does this feel easier over time? There's so much that can be measured. So staying away from the scale, looking at multiple measures of success is important. And the situation that I've encountered is somebody that in a short amount of time expected dramatic body transformation. And so multiple times a week, they'd be coming in saying, I don't see any change. I don't see any change. You don't see any change because you look at yourself every single day. You look at the mirror every single day. You're not going to see those micro changes that happen on a daily basis. However, someone like me who only sees this person a couple times a week, I can see that change because I don't see them every day. I see them moving towards their goals, not only that aesthetic that they're looking for, but also in strength, balance, flexibility, stability, endurance. And I can point all these out till I'm blue in the face. But until someone is able to let go of that need for the instant results, you're going to continue in that hamster wheel. Now, again, pointing out what I see, the progress, the transformation with this individual, we needed something concrete to attach it to. So we're using measurements. And again, this was somebody who couldn't see the physical change in the day-to-day, but after a period of time where we took measurements, there was dramatic change in their body shape, in their body composition, and just even in how their clothes fit. Even that concrete evidence was hard to absorb because, again, the individual is critiquing themselves, is really getting hard on themselves in the day-to-day, not seeing that change. They can't look at, here's point A, down the line, here's point B. Look at all the success I've had. This is also where, like I wrote about in my health column last week, things like daily progress pictures with the 75 hard is extremely damaging because that day-to-day difference, you probably are not going to see and feel in a 24-hour period. Will you see it over the course of weeks and months? Absolutely. So how do we get away from it? How do we get away from that daily fixation, that need for the quick results, the instant gratification? That comes in our mindset and in our accountability. The mind is hard to change because, like I've said, we've been conditioned for that quick fix, for that quick transformation. So changing that mindset comes from setting that gamut of benchmarks. There might be some physical ones, but what are some other ones emotionally? Maybe even working on your spiritual growth. What are some of those other benchmarks that you can measure to look at your success? And that plays hand in hand with that accountability. We're our own best liars. We can convince ourselves that nothing is going right, that nothing is going well, that I'm not changing. Accountability steps in to say, hey, slow down the train. Look at what I see. Look at the progress you've made. Here's the facts. And keeping to repeat it over and over and over. Because accountability not only gives us that little kick in the pants that we need sometimes to keep going, to stay engaged with our goals, but also to affirm us, to edify us, to encourage us, to show us where we're being successful so that we do stay in that mindset of, I want to continue. I want to do better. I want to keep moving towards the goals I've set for myself. So there's my soapbox today. There are no quick results. There's no quick transformation. But I promise you, if you stay the course towards your goals, you can reach them. If you have any questions at all, comment, DM, reach out to me, and let's have a little bit more conversation. Have a great day. And again, go vote.